Finally, we're seeing something that we always thought. We're seeing the Republicans start to say Orange Man bad for themselves. He has fallen off. He's mid, and they don't even want to touch him. They think Orange Man bad. So as you guys would have seen, we did a little thing on how Trump is running for president again. Very funny, very interesting. I mean, everybody kind of expected it. I really think the reason why he's running is because he's found himself in a massive amount of trouble when it comes to the legal system. He has like 17 lawsuits coming at him at the moment. He recently did another sit down little interview he gave to the court, a little deposition for his businesses. The person who was running his business, Weisselberg, is actually in court at the moment being accused of lying to the IRS about the property value of Trump's real estate business while he was running while Trump was busy in the presidency. So now he's dealing with that and massive fines coming to his business. But I want to talk about how Trump actually has no friends. We always knew that Trump really had no friends. Nobody who actually cares about him or actually likes him. I'm not saying this just because like I hate him. I'm saying it because we can see that he has actually no friends in the people who like surround themselves with him, except for his sycophants. Okay, there are two types of people. Well, three types of people who are around Donald Trump, okay? And it's one is his sycophants. I'm talking like people like Roger Stone. I'm talking about people like Boebert and Marjorie. Those people are like the sycophants, the hardcore. They won't change. They love him and period. That's it. Nobody else could be him. And then there's the people who are like me. I hate him, and I'm very, very clear that I hate him. 100%. And then there's the people who hate him, but pretend that they like him so they can get something from him or that they can stay in the good graces of his sycophants. All right. Fox News are the people who were like that. And another person who was like that was Mike Pence. So I want to start off this little journey while talking about the person who was probably closest to him, which is Mike Pence. So Mike Pence has emerged from the darkness. If you forget where Mike Pence, well, actually, you know what? Let me stop here. Mike Pence has emerged from the darkness and is here to talk a little bit about his time with Donald Trump and why they parted ways. And he's been going on like a big media tour for the last couple of days. And I would like to show you a couple of clips from that.
Given him, but from what I read in your book and other interviews you've done, it doesn't sound like he ever apologized. And we know from testimony that he gave the impression to his top White House aides that were there when the crowd was chanting, "Hang Mike Pence," he said something along the lines of, according to testimony under oath, "Maybe they're right about you." So I come from a different faith tradition that also believes in forgiveness, but it also believes in people seeking forgiveness when they have done wrong to someone.
Well, Jake, I don't know what was happening at the White House. I was at a loading dock at the U.S. Capitol building working the problem and doing my level best to help facilitate the arrival of security personnel to quell the violence. But what I can tell you is in the 5 days following January 6th, I made no effort to contact the president. But when his daughter Ivanka and son-in-law came to my office, as I write in So Help Me God, and asked on that following Monday if I'd be willing to sit down with the president, I told them I wasn't looking for a meeting, but if he had something to say to me, I'd hear him out. But I walked into the room, and the president's chief of staff was present, but he quickly left. The president looked up at me, and he asked if Karen and Charlotte were okay.
Okay, cringe. I just thought it was very interesting there how Trump never actually like specifically went to go seek out. Also, I want to show you this.
It's coming. It's coming.
Whoops, sorry. I have a very big brain, so I listen to things incredibly fast. This is an inclusive show, so we're going to slow it down really quick.
Mr. Vice President, so many Republicans had urged the former president, your running mate, wait until after Georgia because they want that Senate seat in Republican hands. He did not. Any idea why?
Well, that'd be a good question for him, Steve. I couldn't be more excited about the fact that House Republicans are going to secure a majority. Kevin McCarthy is going to be the next Speaker of the House, and I'm anxious to see.
We'll talk about that later.
Although it won't be a majority in the Senate, I'm anxious to hear Herschel Walker be elected in that special election in Georgia. And I think the American people are really focused there. But it's a free country. The president's entitled to announce his intentions whenever he desires. But I honestly believe that we'll have better choices come 2024. You know, I don't think.
So interesting. Interesting, is it not? He was kind of like tiptoeing around it a little bit. Why would Donald Trump announce right now? Well, I think we'll have better choices. So he just finally comes out and says it. He is off the Trump train. He is gone. Now, I never thought that, I'm going to be honest with you. I never thought that Mike Pence liked Donald Trump that much. I still don't think, like, now he's coming back and just being like how he actually is. Let's be honest with ourselves, okay? None of these people, if they're just like establishment Republicans, none of them liked this guy. None of them liked, well, Mike Pence, but also Donald Trump. None of them liked him whatsoever. They thought he was an issue, a cancer even. We can just look back at and see like what people like Charlie Kirk, Ted Cruz, Lindsey Graham, Laura Ingraham, Fox 5, all of these people had to say about Donald Trump. They hated him. It wasn't even like they were kind of mild on him. They hated him. I remember Lindsey Graham from 2015 saying specifically, if we elect Donald Trump, we will lose and we will deserve it. And where is he now? He's making like crying fits about like helping Donald Trump as long as he can get the votes from his sycophants. That's all he cares about. All of these people care about themselves, and that's basically it. Mike Pence, the only reason why he decided to be Donald Trump's vice president is because he wanted to be closer to the presidency. So many senators, if not every senator, has the want to become a president. That's typically how the ascension chart goes, where you go from a House member to a senator to a president, or a governor to a president. You know, that's typically how you do it. And so he thought that this would be his chance to finally kind of make the Biden shuffle, where you go from being like a senator to a vice president, and then you come back and be a president again. He can't do the Biden shuffle. Biden could barely do the Biden shuffle, okay? Let's be honest with ourselves. Like 2020 was pretty close. And he lost the election. He lost like what, 4 or 5 elections before he became the president. It took a long time to get there. Okay, it took a really long time to get there. So don't feel bad about Pence. The only reason why Pence is coming out and talking against Donald Trump at this very moment in time is because it helps him. Now he knows that there's a lot of people out who don't like Donald Trump just like he does, and now he doesn't have to worry about angering the sycophants. Okay, and then he's got a book coming out. Okay, so you see this? Ooh, what? My bad. You see this? You see what she's holding here? That's his book. He's doing a book tour at the moment. He's trying to bring up his favorability ratings with normie Republicans so he can hopefully run for president someday, because I think he's honestly positioning himself to run for president. And he wants to sell his book, and he gets to doo-doo on Donald Trump after he basically tried to kill him, right? He gets to have basically everything he wants. He gets to have his cake and eat it too. Well, people from Fox News are paying for it. Well, I don't think he'll win. I think it's very funny. On top of that, Trump's supposed closest friend also had this to say about him when it came to their big breakup.
Frankly, when the president returned to some of the rhetoric about me and others who had taken a stand for the Constitution, I thought it was best that we just go our separate ways. But the foundation of our ability to part amicably came from that relationship that was forged in those 4 years. And I will always be proud of the record of the Trump-Pence administration and what we were able to do for.
So true. So listen, you can't fire me. I quit. You can't break up with me because I break up with you. He's the one who broke it up with Trump. Now, whether that's true or not, I'm not necessarily sure. But what we do need to remember is we did a story on this a little while ago when it came to Pence after January 6th. And the big thing that happened, I think the funniest thing to me is the fact, and a lot of your streamers and other like content creators, if you don't watch like too much politics, you honestly you should. It's pretty interesting. I gotta say, American politics is pretty wacky. With that being said, right after January 6th, Mike Pence left Washington D.C. To never return, and then after he left D.C., you know what he was doing? He was couch surfing. He was couch surfing with local Indiana lawmakers, him and his wife, sleeping on random people's couches from like day to day to day to day to day. Like every couple days, they would rotate to another friend's like couch to sleep on with like Secret Service out inside and outside the house, keeping watch over them because he was genuinely fearing for his life. This guy, like after the hang Mike Pence debacle, this guy was so scared. That's why he didn't go back to his normal home. And that's why he was couch surfing, to hopefully throw Trump supporters off of his scent so they wouldn't kill him. He had to hide from like rabid dogs. It was pretty bad, and he was pretty scared. I'd be scared too if they were him. Yeah, they bought like a whole noose. It was like hang Mike Pence. He's scared. And like the bashing Trump hasn't even stopped at Mike Pence because it's starting to get popular. So popular, in fact, it's more popular than goddamn Chris Christie. So Christie was applauded. He got a standing ovation for calling Trump a duty head at the Republican governors meeting. You got, for some people who weren't here back like pre-2016 to like 2014 to 2016, sort of like era of like American politics. Chris Christie was everywhere. Governor of New Jersey, Republican governor of New Jersey. They don't have a Republican governor anymore. They got a bad taste in their mouth after Christie. But Christie was mad annoying. Imagine Chris Christie is like Northwest Ted Cruz. He's like a little bit more moderate Northwest Northwest Ted Cruz when it comes to how fucking annoying he is all the time. Nobody likes Chris Christie. Nobody likes Chris Christie, okay? Not even other Republicans like Chris Christie, okay? Even the other like Northeast Republican governor, which would be like Sununu and Larry Hogan, even they don't like Chris Christie, bro. Nobody likes this guy. And he got a standing ovation for bashing Trump. Chris Christie was so bad here in Jersey. Yeah, nobody likes Christie. And this man got a standing ovation for shitting on Trump. It's wild, honestly. This man has no friends. These are all rats jumping off of a fleeing ship. All of these people were like bowing down at the altar of Trump when he was president, and now it's bad. Now it's all over. Yeah, my man had a 14% approval rating when he left office in New Jersey. It wasn't good. It's pretty bad. And we're not even talking about like unelected officials, even some people who are sitting in office, and some powerful people at that, like McCarthy, who has a good likelihood of being Speaker of the House. But once again, we'll talk about that a little later, whether he'll actually make it. On Trump, he was recently caught out by some reporters, and this is the transcript of what he had to say. McCarthy on Trump: "You guys seem to follow me more often than you did in the past." And the reporter says, "Are you prepared to endorse Donald Trump?" And he said, "Why? No, question mark. Are you prepared to endorse him? Do you endorse him?" And he just says, "You guys are crazy." Giving us spoilers. I did give you a little bit of spoilers. Yeah, Q was there. Q was there asking him if he supported Donald Trump. Okay, the storm is coming. And boy, it's coming. And so this is McCarthy not even wanting to come out and endorse Donald Trump on the day that he announced that he was going to be president. "You guys are crazy," is all he had to say. Really, Mr. McCarthy. And it seems like he had a good reason not to want to speak there, because later this dropped. Paul Ryan says McCarthy will clinch speakership. Anyone not named Trump can beat Biden. Anyone not named Trump can beat Biden is what Paul Ryan says. Paul Ryan, if you don't know, was the old Speaker of the House under the first couple years of the Trump administration. Fuck Paul Ryan. Yeah, Paul Ryan's very cringe. Paul Ryan is incredibly cringe. Paul Ryan was the leader of the GOP before McCarthy got into office, if you don't remember. But yeah, Paul Ryan came out and said he thinks McCarthy will get the speakership, which, we'll talk about later. And anyone not named Trump can beat Biden. So even like the old Speaker of the House says that Trump cannot beat Biden. The new Speaker of the House for the Republicans says that But he's not going to endorse Donald Trump. Be honest, okay, with ourselves. This is him saying no, he will not endorse Donald Trump. This is the politician way of saying that he's not going to. Trump is lacked in endorsements completely, just like the first term, just like the first time he ran for office. But it seems like it may not change this time, because with midterm losses, Trump's climb to the nomination could be steeper than he'd like. And this is an article that basically went over the fact that Donald Trump has a much harder time, even this time, getting, not only winning, the nomination from the Republicans to be able to win. If you guys don't remember, Donald Trump, a lot of people tried to like lie about the history of Donald Trump when it came to the Republican primary. Donald Trump was not some wild, clear favorite that blew everybody else out of the water in the same way that they would like to remember him doing. Donald Trump was barely winning over everybody else in a lot of places, but simply because he had slightly more than the next person in the plurality, which once again wasn't even 50%, he won in a lot of places. It was a winner-take-all system, and him just barely beating a lot of people in the race meant that he was able to accumulate votes way faster than other people, making it seem statistically, when you talk about the points that he gained, to be able to win the nomination in the wacky fucking insane way that they make the nomination process go through, which somehow is more democratic than the Democratic Party's at least was. He was able to, clinch the nomination and make it. The second time he ran, they literally stopped other Republicans from being able to run against him. They didn't hold any debates. They stopped a bunch of other Republicans from even trying to run against him to hopefully not make him angry or mad. And he was able to just move on by because there are basically no other choices to him. Now it's different. Now with these midterm losses, with 2 midterm losses, I guess 3 midterm losses in a row, and big ones. When I say big ones, I mean big ones. Most of the people who he endorsed lost. The big names who he endorsed were giga losers. And it's very bad because his connection with a lot of Republicans on the ground is starting to weaken dramatically. And now he's getting to the point where he doesn't have like a good control over his caucus anymore. A lot of people are starting to become very wary of Trump and thinks that his like endorsement at all is a kiss of death, to the point where they're even asking him to stay out of Georgia. Not only did they ask him not to run for president before the election, they asked him not to touch Georgia at all with his grubby little monkey paws. Apparently, they were like, if you touch Georgia at all, you will make us lose and we will never forgive you for that. So, and even though it's too late, okay, it's too late because Herschel Walker is the Trump candidate. Herschel Walker is who Trump picked. So the tinge, the stink of Trump has already tainted that race. So it's already over for them. I don't believe that they're going to win. I think Walker's going to do worse in the run-up election than he did in the general election, simply because Kemp was on the ballot. And that could like hopefully counteract the fact that he was a Trump endorsement, even though he had a 7-point fall off between Kemp voters and Walker voters who split their ticket or didn't even vote for him at all. And so Orange Man is not good for the party. It seemed like Republicans are starting to say that Orange Man is bad. It's remarkable, is it not, chat? That finally we're seeing something that we always thought. We're seeing the Republicans start to say Orange Man bad for themselves. He has fallen off. He's mid, and they don't even want to touch him. They think Orange Man bad. They don't want to vote for him. Orange Man is in fact bad, it seems. Orange Man killing our party. Orange Man make me sad. Orange Man bad. So Orange Man was bad after all? Yeah, it seems like all along, Orange Man was indeed cringe, dragging the entire party down through the mud. I love it. I want Donald Trump to be connected by the waist to the Republican Party. I want him to curl up into a ball and be and tie himself to a chain around their neck. That's what I think. I think Trump should continue with this like in perpetuity, forever even. Stay connected. Do not let go. I would love it, because if this means that if this means that the Republicans are not able to win any more elections, this means that the country has a good path on becoming better. Okay, I'm sorry. If you want something good to happen in this country, Republicans not have to be in office, and a lot of Democrats don't have to either. But you know, we'll get there when we get there. Speaking of a lot of the conservative losses and a big Republican L that was the midterms, you can't call it anything but an L. They did horribly. With just looking at the hundreds of years of data and what was going on in the country during the 2022 election cycle, there's no reason why the Republicans should have done as bad as they did, but they did. And I want to take a little look here. An unfriendly face, but a face that you may remember, which is Josh Hawley and what he had to say about the Republican Party. Listen to this.
I think that...
What's happening? Wait, is this site actually breaking? Wait, is Twitter actually falling apart now? Okay, wait, we got to finish this segment really quick or else. Wait, we got to finish this segment really quick because this app is like barely working. Okay, wait a second.
Oh no, it's gone again. This election was the funeral for the Republican Party as we know. I think that this election was the funeral for the Republican Party as we know it. The Republican Party, as we have known it, is dead. And voters have made that clear. And in particular, the folks who did not vote for Republicans in this last election were independent voters, working class independent voters, folks who voted for President Obama once upon a time, folks who then voted for President Trump but stayed home this time. We are not a majority party unless we can appeal to those voters.
So, interesting, is it not? Also, wait. You think this was his face when he saw all the Republicans down ballot like get their shit rocked and lose? Like all of them were coming in waiting for the red tsunami. It's going to be it's the red wave. It's gonna be like the scene in The Shining where they open up the hallway and there's a massive pool of blood, but it's not blood, it's cum. It's our cum, because we're gonna get so many seats. But no, it's actually going to be even bigger than that. Imagine a door, but it's really big. And there's gonna be a tidal wave that comes out. Wowzers. Yeah, he is doing wowzers. Yeah, wowzers red wave. And then this is the face that he made after after there was none. What? Elon Musk has entered mouse mode and he's now chewing on wires. Yeah, he is actually chewing on the wires. He's scurrying up the walls. He's chewing on wires. Somebody stop him. But I mean, the Republican Party has been dead for a while. It's just been a sort of animated corpse walking around. I think a lot of people would say the Republican Party died. Honestly, it's more than Trump. This goes further than Trump. Like back in time even further. We're talking about like Bush Jr., Newt Gingrich, Mitch McConnell. These are the people that really destroyed the Republican Party. And even further than that, you can even say that possibly even like Reagan, even further back, helped destroy the Republican Party, right? But it's been Dick Cheney, it's been hobbling for a while. Rupert Murdoch, Nixon, massive problems that this party has had that they have no care for fixing at all, because at the end of the day there's only two parties. Let's be honest with ourselves. There's only two parties, and we're not going to get another Democratic 40-year rule, will we? Oh, we're not bad enough to have a 40-year rule. So as long as the Democrats are doing bad, which they do a lot, means that if people simply, they don't even have to vote for us. They could just not vote for the Democrats and we'll win because our base loves us. And that's all that we really need to do. And that's basically what they've been able to go off of for quite a long time. And when things do go okay, there's still those like more flip-floppy voters who will vote for us when things are going well under us. So honestly, we don't have to do much. Just wait for the Democrats to screw up and we'll get in office. Now it's starting to become the point that where they can't even do that, because there are a lot of people who said that they don't want the Democrats to control Congress, but they didn't vote for Republicans. And they honestly didn't even vote. And a lot of them didn't even not vote. A lot of them still voted for Democrats, which is incredible, because the only other party that would have the chance of having control would be the Republicans, which means that they hate the Republicans more than they don't like the Democrats not doing anything or not fixing all of the problems that they have, which is more like what they actually say than more than like not doing anything, if I'm going to be honest, right? OMG, that's us. It is us. You're right. There are a lot of people out there who feel this exact same way. And a lot of them are starting to fill up the populace. Election deniers lost. One thing that I want to talk about that, like, I hate it because this means they're going to do it again. But the Democrats' idea of putting up the most insane Republican candidates possible to hopefully be able to knock them down did work in some regard. It kind of worked. I hate it because you are playing with so much fire. You're playing with fire in like a cotton factory. You know what I mean? Like you're building matches in a firework factory. You know what I mean? It did work this time. Now remember, this idea was posted by Claire McCaskill, the old senior senator from Missouri, the old senior Democratic senator from Missouri, who said that it worked so well that the Democrats should do it. Now, if you were asking yourself, hey, that name sounds familiar, Claire McCaskill? Yeah, it's because she's a commentator for MSNBC these days, not a senator, because the person who we just saw, Josh Hawley, took her seat. The person who, let me remind you, does not think that the Republican Party needs to become more moderate. He thinks the Republican Party needs to become more insane and appeal to those voters a little bit more, then actually become like a normal party. So Josh Hawley's idea of like a normal party is still far and away what we would expect like a normal conservative movement to look in the country, or like more conservative, more normal than our conservative party, you know? Something at least a little bit more akin to like Canada's conservative party than like ours. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Or like Italy. You could see how that went. And I don't think they'll learn to like not do it again. I think they will do it again, which can lead to some problems happening down the road. But I guess we'll get there when we get there. But that's what we're dealing with right now. Donald Trump has no friends. As we saw, people didn't even want to stay in his speech where he was talking about how he was running for president again. He's low energy. He lost the following and backing from a lot of people. They're no longer starstruck by him, and they see him as a liability, that he always was a liability. He wasn't that popular in 2016. He's even less popular now. And somebody said something amazing, and I guess I'll end off the video here, which is Donald Trump, if he does get the nomination, will be the Hillary Clinton of 2024, which I think is it's so poetic, is it not? It's so wildly poetic that he's going to go from, but his email, he's going to go from like being the wacky firebrand, you may not like him, but he'll shake the system up, to, oh my gosh, it's this guy, somebody get him out of here type of guy. And he'll be the Hillary Clinton of 2024. It's wild, I must say. But I guess we'll see really what happens when we get there. Trump has no friends. Nobody wants to be around him anymore. I gotta say, it's all very funny to me. It's gonna be hard to find a new Republican leader. I don't know who wants to sail a dead ship, but I know somebody hungry enough, stupid enough, or brave enough will step up and give it a try. Come here. Come here. Oh. Hi. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it. Thank you, Boo.